I'm really starting to think that Trevion Henderson, he likes to go by Trey, by the way. If you call him Trevion, you don't even know him. You don't even know him like we do. We know him like this. Trey Henderson's going to, I want to say the moon.
To the moon.
I feel like that's disrespectful. I want to say Mars.
To Mars.
I feel like that's disrespectful.
To Saturn.
I want to say Saturn. Let's check where he's at. Is he on the Saturn list?
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
He's on
Mars
the
Man.
Mars Men list, but no longer. Because we're moving Tre Henderson, baby.
Dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
The question is he going to Jupiter, the top list that we have, period? Or is he going to Saturn?
The FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Such a tough call for me when I start looking at this situation and I say to myself, Tre Henderson, love him. Harvey, love him. There's thought process involved that says, Sean Payton's going to run the hell out of Harvey. 3-down back. They've already said he's a 3-down back. Then you got these chatting Charlies and careful Caleb's and worried Williams and just hater Henrys that come in here and say things like, he can't pass block, Smitty. He's not going to be a good 3rd-down back. They're not going to use him on 3rd down, Smitty. Even though Sean Payton just told you he is. Sean Payton just told you that he will use Harvey on 3rd downs. But the thing about Hendy is that I think Hendy's my number 2 overall rookie running back right now. I go back and forth between Harvey and Hendy, and I love having Travis Hunter in the mix if I'm needing wide receiver, but I go back and forth. I love Harvey. Absolutely love him. Harvey's going to, I think we got him on the Mars Men, right? Or Saturn?
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
Oh, we put him on Jupiter.
The Jupiter Men. Jupiter
We
is
put
so
him on Jupiter.
large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter Men.
I think maybe, first of all, Harvey has to be on the Jupiter list. We'll put him on Jupiter. I don't know if I'm moving someone down. I don't think so. I think we just keep them all on there, baby. I think we just shoot. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're shooting 8 monsters to Jupiter. They're colonizing over there, so they need it. So we're gonna move this spot 7 to 8. 8 Jupiter Men. Doesn't mean I'm gonna add more Mars Men, Saturn Men, or Moon Men. I just think I'm gonna balance it out a little bit. I think Hendy needs to be on this list because right now I'm feeling like Hendy's not just a top 10 running back as a rookie. I'm really starting to believe that his ability to stay on the field for all 3 downs, hell, 4 downs, it makes me think this is going to be the next Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not saying he'll be better than Gibbs. I'm not saying he won't be. I'm just saying it's pure stupidity to suggest he can't be. I think it's much closer to a reality that he can be than to suggest that he can't be. I'm not saying they're exactly the same player. I'm not saying they're going to be used exactly the same, but I believe that Hendy has the possibility of being Jahmyr Gibbs 2.0, meaning you draft him in the top 5 running backs in future drafts. He's got Breece Hall get up and go. He's got Jahmyr Gibbs shiftiness and speed and quickness. He's got the ability to pass protect better than maybe as soon as entering the NFL, his first snap, he might be considered among the top 5 pass blocking running backs in the National Football League. And when you understand what's going on in New England, that it's all about protecting Drake May. The top 5 selection in an offensive lineman is about protecting Drake May. Selecting Hendy to pass block for him, the best pass blocking back in the rookie draft class and maybe top 5 in the NFL before he's even taken a snap, before he's even hit one block. This guy is a potential top 5 pass blocking running back in the National Football League. That protects Drake May. His ability to catch a check down pass or just take a little screen pass 80 yards down the field at any moment protects Drake May. Field position, and time of possession protects Drake May. So everything's about Drake May. Having this guy off the field puts Drake May at risk. And I think that even if they give him all of the receiving work because he won't leave the field on third down, giving him even half of the rushing attempts, we don't want more than that. We want Jahmyr Gibbs, Achane, Kyren. Kyren is a different monster, but we want Kyren dialed back too. We want these guys to be shifty and get these explosive carries, these great touches. Kyron's more of a workhorse, so we'll throw him back out of this conversation. But when it comes to Achane and everybody complaining about that he's too small, you don't need to give him 25 carries a game. Give him 15, give him 14, give him 4 to 6 receptions. Hendy can handle it, though. That's the difference. He's not Achane. This is a between-the-tackle running back if you need him to be. He'll carry the rock 25, 26 times in one game if you need it to happen. But you want to get him 14, 15 totes, 4 to 6 receptions, 100 total yard player. And then it's 12 to 15 total touchdowns. It's 60 to 70 receptions. Hendy going to mother freaking Jupiter.
To Jupiter.
Now, I just want to make it abundantly clear that there's a man named Harvey. Just because I'm inching a little bit more toward loving Hendy over Harvey right now, regardless of the format, I think that there's some thinking that Harvey could have some little quicker, workload path of entry, but I don't really think that's the case given his ability to pass block and what it's going to mean for him being on the field right away. But I will say that this does not take away that Harvey's also going
To Jupiter.
And if you got to choose between Harvey and Hendy, you got yourself a dilemma. One even I'm going to struggle with a little bit just because I think he could be such a monster, and he will be. These two guys, have him as your RB1 and RB1. Have him as a double. Have this as your running back staple. Are you rebuilding? Have Barkley, have Henry, have Christian McCaffrey, have a bunch of older guys, even have a JT, who in a year or two, you're not going to be able to get rid of him any differently than trying to get rid of a player like Barkley. Like, trading Barkley in Dynasty is near impossible. People don't want to pay what the seller wants in return, given what Barkley probably does for at least one more year. And so he's impossible to trade. He's in fantasy football trade limbo. JT will be there in one calendar year. You might think JT, oh, he's a young guy still. One more year of wear and tear, you can't trade him. Go get Hendy. Go get Harvey using JT. You might even get more. Go trade a CMC right now while you can get Harvey, while people question he's 24 years old. He's not going to get a lot of work. Or Hendy, he's got Ramondre there. I don't even know how they're going to use him over there. Go get these guys. I'd even give up more to get Hendy in some sort of Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. I bet you could probably do Hendy and some. You have your rookie draft coming up. Get the 4 pick. Probably good enough to get it. 5 pick will get you one of these guys, but 4 pick would get you control to maybe have your way of grabbing one or the other. And Travis Hunter, love Travis Hunter. You got the 3 pick, the 2 pick. You should be considering Travis Hunter. You need a wide receiver. Travis Hunter is going to be remarkable. If I'm sitting at the 2 pick, I really believe that if Hendy went, which would be very surprising, I would probably say damn it for a second, and then I go, I get to draft Travis Hunter. I get to draft.
Let him cook.
The doubted Travis Hunter. And if Travis Hunter goes 2, I say damn it. And then I say, I get to draft Hendy.
Let him cook.
Either way, I'm excited. And if I have the 4 pick and Hendy and Hunter go, I'm doing the same song and dance for Harvey to the moon. What about Hampton? I like Hampton too. You could strongly consider Hampton. We can flip the script on that. And we're going to have, whenever anybody drops in massive fashion, like the whole chat is dropping recycle emojis. You guys all fuel each other. Once a chat. You can only do it once a chat or once a show. I will flip the script on whatever I'm talking about. If I'm saying Caleb's not going to do anything, Caleb's going to, like I normally do, and you guys start dropping the recycle, the arrows that go both ways emoji, that will have me flip the script and I have to argue the other side. I'm not saying I'll be happy about it. I'm not saying I'm not going to caveat it at the end and clarify, but we'll flip the script and have a conversation about that other side. But anyway, Hampton, Harvey, Hampton, Hendy, I get it. I'm not mad. Anybody? People sleeping on Judkins, CB says, I know the Judkins owners want that. They want that so badly. You know, it's the only thing that you can do if you own Judkins, or if you own a 7-8 pick, is hope to God that you're going to get that kind of return from Judkins, who's sharing carries with Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson's going to have the passing work probably on lock. And so you're getting a one-dimensional player with Dylan Sampson in that mix. And don't think that Dylan Sampson's not going to be used. The team has even come out and said very publicly that the sky's the limit receiving-wise for Dylan Sampson. They're going to use both backs. So Tre Henderson going to the mother freaking moon. Let's go over real quickly. Diggs, there's some news today come from Rappaport. I think it was Rappaport. Rappaport said that the Patriots do not plan on cutting Stefon Diggs. This is something that I'm sure was kicked around for a millisecond. If you think, oh, Smitty, I told you. You didn't tell us. We told you. We literally came in and said, probably not going to happen now. Probably not going to happen anytime soon unless he unravels more or doesn't shape up. But this was talked about. I can promise you that they had a conversation, even if it was a sentence long, it was a half hour long, it was whatever. I can promise you they said, what do we do? I promise, just because he didn't get cut doesn't mean they weren't saying this can't continue. He's got to shape up. He's got to show up, shape up, and fix this situation. But it was very, very clear that it was probably a little further away from happening. He'd have to unravel some more. He'd have to not self-correct some of the behaviors and not just put on display. He's out on a boat celebrating and going crazy and doing things and passing out a pink substance, and everybody's speculating, and it's just a bad look for what's going on. It's a huge distraction. If he doesn't tighten up what's going on, they will continue to bump into this conversation and have this conversation. Diggs being released was on the table, no matter how small of a percentage chance it was. Stop getting it twisted in thinking that they hadn't had a conversation about this. I promise you they did. It's just a matter of, no, we're not getting rid of him. We have a lot invested. Let's work with the kid. Let's try and see if he can rein it in. That's probably how it went, but they had the conversation because this guy's a head case. He's a locker room problem. He's toxic. Everywhere he goes, he ruins locker rooms everywhere. And you can sit here and say, oh, I like Diggs. I drafted him. That's fine. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He didn't discuss cutting him. Why would they? Scott, I just told you. Pay attention, Scott. I just literally told you. Rewind if you need to catch back up, and then you can get back into the mix here. Okay, so if we're going to let's see here. I was on the clock in a draft. I've got 31 minutes in this other one. I've got who do I take? Who do I take between Dylan Sampson? Let's go Dylan Sampson instead of Yoshi Voss. I like both of them. Okay. Last piece of news. So that was Stefon Diggs. Barkley is officially on the cover of Madden. Not a great sign. I know those of you that own Barkley are going to say, oh, this is not a curse anymore. That's stupid. And those that don't own Barkley are going to go, yeah, I'm glad it isn't my player. I would love to ask somebody that says this isn't a problem, especially mixed with the 430 plus carries last year, 470 plus total touches last year. I would love to hear somebody say that if you put, let's say, your favorite player or the player you own in the Dynasty League, let's say it's JJ, on the Madden cover, that you like it? Would you put the squash on that? Would you say if you could press a button and undo it, you would undo it? It's never a good thing. It's never a good thing. Part of what maybe helps make the Madden curse, end up a lot of the time, and it has been broken before, But what makes the Madden curse kind of a problem is that they usually choose somebody that went explosively big the year prior. And so the likelihood of injury is identified in that selection. The fact that they went after a guy that got so much work that everybody's going to be like, damn it, he's going to get hurt now. Because we're already worried about the work. This is identifying that it's, the hottest player in the league that's due for a regression season. It's just why it fits so well into the narrative. I'm not saying that there's actually a curse, but it is what it is. And the bottom line is I am avoiding Barkley in most scenarios unless I'm in best ball where I can protect it by picking up, the next, Bucky Irving and having this arsenal of Charbonnet and all these, Corey Krosky, Merritt, and potentially Bigsby and Tootin. And I've got this arsenal to step in if Barkley misses 3, 4, 5 games. And he's certainly due to miss some time this year. The guy's been injury prone a big part of his career. Yeah, you could say he shucked the injury label free last year, but I don't think so. He took on a boatload of work. They leaned on him more than he's ever been leaned on ever before. And the likelihood of some sort of injury is just extremely high. The red flag is there. So the Madden situation doesn't help matters, even though it's not science, it's not biology. It is literally just a historically bad, vibe, you could say. And mix that with the already known fear of injury and likely overworked, 2024. It's not the best situation. I'm avoiding Barkley in a lot of ways. Best ball, I'm taking him. Non-best ball, I'd rather go Bijan. Give me Gibbs. Give me Lamb. I mean, this is one of those scenarios where I said earlier that, you could say, hey, Smitty, what if Barkley does smash? Are you going to feel silly? And the answer is I'm not, because the player I take instead of Barkley is also going to explode. So the only way that I feel silly is if I take the safer player. Ironically, the safer player gets injured. Barkley beats the odds, and then I'm wrong. The more likely scenario is either I'm going to be right and Barkley's going to get injured and my player plays well because they're younger, there's less red flags, or I'm wrong and Barkley plays well but my player still plays well and I'm still right. 2 out of those scenarios, I'm right. 2 of those scenarios, doesn't matter if the other person is right, I'm still smashing the player that succeeds that I'm taking. So I'm avoiding Barkley. You can rip on that all you want. You could say, oh, you're a little early, but I'd rather be a year early than a year late and your fantasy hopes are down the drain. Best ball makes it fun to take gambles on Barkley, on Henry, on CMC because you're doing $3 sometimes, $5, $10 drafts. Not a big deal. I'll do a $10 draft, a $5 draft all day long and draft Barkley. It's fun to have that. All right, hit me, Denny. Denny's in the chat. Denny, my boy, go live, pal. Haven't heard from you in a while, my friend. Denny? Hello? Hold on, Denny. I gotta fix the audio here, my boy. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get Denny going. Denny, you there? Denny, hello.
Raining oil all
there you are.
God.
There you are, Denny. Denny, huh? What's up, bro? We couldn't hear you at all. Please start over. You're live. I couldn't hear a word you were saying until just right now. Go ahead.
Oh, my speakerphone has a bunch of oil in it.
Okay. No problem. What can I do for you, Denny?
Draining oil out of cars, you know?
Attaboy. Yeah, attaboy. What do you think of Stefon Diggs in your precious New England Patriot environment over there? Because you're a big Pats fan. Diggs is, out there. Keep it clean. But he's out there on the boat, partying.
I'll keep it clean. Keep it clean. You asked me a question.
Yeah.
You know what I think? To be, keep it quiet and, with Belichick, all that. He's a disaster. Not Diggs. I don't care. Diggs, run your routes, catch the ball. You know what I mean? I care what he's doing. Diggs is a talented receiver.
Yeah, but
run your routes, get the ball.
The thing is, Denny, he hasn't been the same player since he left Buffalo. He showed signs in Houston, and there was some decent play. But this is 1 year later, so naturally, as an older player, he will be just. If he was, let's say, he didn't get injured last year, he will naturally be maybe a little step slower anyway. And I know he looks good right now in his workouts and stuff, but it's a very different thing when you hit the field. He's still fully expected to miss a handful of weeks. They're thinking week 3-4 weeks.
Awful. Well, we went for DK. Who we go for? Was it DK? Oh man,
Pickens, DK. Pickens would have been pretty good. He's also a head case, but again, Diggs is at the point where he's not resetting his mentality. Pickens is young. He reset his mentality, at least for a year. He put it on pause. Remember when AB went to Tampa Bay? He just pressed the pause button on his craziness. Just because it was new, it was fresh, it was Tom Brady. And all of a sudden, AB was a model citizen. He hit pause, but then it just took a little bit of time. That's what will happen to Pickens. He hit pause. Pickens will be fine. Diggs, the thing about it, I know you're saying Diggs is fine, but he's bringing some drama to this situation, and he is a locker room problem. He's a sideline problem. He's the kind of guy that's going to be pissed off on the sideline, causing a stink. You may like that. You may think that Drake May even needs that, but he's gone to 2 locker rooms now where they don't want him back. They didn't want him back in Houston. He was at times crying on the sideline, causing commotion, causing a scene. Everybody said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine." But he did it in Buffalo. He ran himself out of Buffalo during a very big season. The first half of that Buffalo Bill final season, he was exploding. He was like a top 4 or 5 wide receiver for about 8 games.
Yeah.
And then they strategically said, and they admitted to this later, they nudged him out. They didn't throw to him anymore. They didn't want him there anymore. They were planning on moving on from Diggs. And Diggs was constantly at Josh Allen. They weren't talking. Remember when Josh Allen and Diggs weren't even talking an entire offseason? They weren't talking. They were beefing. Diggs is a disaster. I don't want that for Drake May. You got Hendy. You got Kyle Williams. You got a young team. What do we need Diggs in there messing with all that camaraderie? You're trying to build something.
No. Honestly, I don't want him before this. Honestly, I don't want him because and he's 32. I don't want him. And no drama. I guarantee he can run a hot route. You know what I mean?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
When it's time to rip, not Smitty, I'm going to run hot. I'm going to see. You put it, I will see where it's going to be.
Okay. All right, Denny, I appreciate you. Mute yourself if you could. I'm going to open the phone lines. I'll come back to you. I won't hang up on you, but just mute yourself, like truly mute if you could, so we don't hear any breathing and all that stuff. All right, hang tight, guys. Dial into the phone line.
I thought you wanted to hear what I had to say.
Call into the show.
All right, hurry up.
I thought you...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
No,
okay.
Is there something else you want to say real quick?
I thought you said I was okay, Spider.
Okay, mute yourself real quick. Truly mute though. Okay, Dynasty : is Ladd and Harvey enough to trade Bijan for? Ladd and Harvey. I don't think so. I love Harvey. And Ladd is fantastic, but you're talking about, in my opinion, Ladd's not worthy of top 12, 14 overall value in Dynasty. I think people are out of their minds putting Ladd in the second round. I think Ladd would be a JSN comp, third round, perfect third round player. I think making Ladd you do a startup draft today and Ladd's your second drafted player. I don't think your team is going to be the best team in the league without even looking at the rest of the draft. It's not that Ladd's not good, but second round is wild. And I don't know why the trend is so crazy. Ladd is good. Ladd is fantastic. So is JSN. And JSN's going in the third round where he belongs, and that's fantastic. JSN's a steal there. Ladd would be a steal in round 3. So in my mind, you're not even. I love Harvey, but Harvey's climbing into probably high third round Dynasty value if I had to imagine. So fair market value, you're giving up a number 1, number 2, number 3 overall player, and you're not getting one of those, players that needs to be included in this to make a Ladd or a Harvey the second piece and good enough. You need to have a higher player. You need to think BT. You need to think players like that. There's just you gotta have a BT in this. You have to have somebody of that caliber, or it doesn't make sense. You can't just trade down from Bijan to Ladd McConkey or Harvey and then get Ladd thrown in. It's not enough. It's not enough. Fair market value, even if you're right on the players, it's not enough. Thank you, Thomas, for the super chat. I think you had said you needed a quarterback. So let's say you had no quarterback, but you're able to get Mahomes, and then you were able to get a player like Bucky. That's something to consider, where you're getting a top 5 quarterback and you're also getting a top potential 5 running back in compensation for Bijan. That's something to look at. Even like a Hendy and BT is something I'm trying to do to get rid of Bijan, man. You gotta make somebody pay the price. All right, we got this caller here from the 770. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty. My name's T. I'm from Georgia. How are you, man?
What's up, my guy? What can I do for you?
Yeah, got a couple of trade questions for you. So it's a PPR super flex. Not that it matters with this particular case, but I'm wondering how you feel about Matthew Golden, because Matthew Golden and Caleb Johnson, and I'm trying to get Harvey and Trey Harris back. I see how high you are on Harvey, and
sorry. Okay,
really, I like the way he looks too. So
okay,
how high you are on Golden.
Golden and who? For what? Say it one more time.
Yeah, Golden and Caleb Johnson for Harvey and Trey Harris. So all rookies.
Harvey and Trey.
What kind of question is
Yeah.
that? How's me know about these goddamn rookies? All you're doing is throwing rookies at them out of Georgia. What are you supposed to know how that's going to turn out? I think. No word.
Denny, we can barely hear you. You're on a very low volume. I don't know if you're far away from the phone. But it was like a really tough response, but it sounded really weak because it was very quiet. You want to try it one more time?
Can I do that?
You're quiet. You're quiet, Denny. What are you doing to the phone? He hung up. Okay, we'll try calling back. Look, I think what's going to happen here is you're going to say, people are going to say that they love Caleb or they love Golden so much, and if you run into somebody that loves both of them, they're going to tell you that this side's better, but it's not. I'm taking Harvey all day. Again, I'm on the side right now of liking Hendy more than Harvey, but I love Harvey. Harvey's going to be a monster. Trey Harris is kind of nice. I don't know that he's as highly capable as Golden, even though I'm not that big on Golden, to be honest. I'm not. But I still would rather have Golden than Trey Harris, even if for just trade value, to flip Golden later because people like him. But I do think Golden's got more upside than Trey Harris in that very limited Chargers passing attack that, I'm worried enough about as it is. So give me, would I rather have Golden? Yeah, but give me Harvey and Trey Harris all day, just for the mere fact that Harvey's a monster. And then maybe you can flip Trey Harris. I'd even take Corey Krosky Merritt for him. I'm crazy, but that I love the kid. And if you can't get him, if you can't pick him up already, and he's available in some leagues, it's crazy. But Trey Harris, I like Trey, but yeah.
I got Krosky Merritt on my taxi squad after you were talking about him, and I completely see the vision behind him. That's for sure.
Next question.
It's yeah, and then the second question was, sorry? Is that Denny again?
Yeah, Denny's back, but Denny, I don't know what you did to the phone volume since you last talked, but you're doing something different.
Hey, grab.
So far away.
Grab it.
Denny, can you put it yourself on speaker or take yourself off speaker? Try one or the other to change it up, because you're clearly quiet right now. You say you dripped oil in your phone? So go on speaker and see if that fixes it. Denny, first of all, I'm not an idiot. I heard you move the phone closer to your face. It was almost like it was here and you went, all right, Eric, now can you hear me? What were you doing?
I work. I'm a technician, and
Okay.
there's oil that gets in the phone. Sometimes I just can't.
All right.
I can't air it out.
All right. What were you complaining about? You're complaining about rookies.
And I'm going to hit this guy, Travis, and he's making enough. And he's saying all these rookies like you're supposed to know what every rookie's going to do. Listen, Smitty doesn't know what every rookie's going to do.
Number one, I do know what every rookie's going to do. That's why I do this show, Denny, and I'm going to predict it. Number two.
That's why I'm asking him, Denny.
Number two, this isn't Travis.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. All right, Denny, hang tight. Go ahead, non-Travis. Give us your second trade.
Yeah, not Travis.
Yeah. Name's T. But yeah, as far as like the second trade, I feel like I'm trying to fleece the guy right now, and I'm wondering how far up you'd be willing to go in respect to this trade. So let me lay it out for you. Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, and a second round 2026 pick.
Hold on, Denny. Hold on. Travis Hunter,
Chris Olave, and a 2026 second round pick, and I'm trying to get back Malik Neighbors and Garrett Wilson. Like I said, I feel like I'm probably on the better end of that trade, and I'm trying to fleece him. But I'm just wondering, as far as to how high would you go if he doesn't bite at that?
Well, let me put it this way: you're talking to the biggest Travis Hunter, show you can find, and Neighbors, crushes him. So you're talking about he's way down at that stage alone. Olave in second, Garrett Wilson crushes that. Absolutely. This is 2024, where we thought Olave was going to get concussed over and over and over again. He's a big walking question mark. Honestly, the thing is, to make Olave in a second equal Garrett, you might need to throw a first rounder in. To make Hunter equal Neighbors, you might need to throw more than a first rounder in. So to make this scale even, 2 first rounders would have to be involved to even make it remotely, something you could even have a conversation about. And then it's preference. It might be like, I got my guys for a reason. You know what I mean? You're off by a minimum of 2 first rounders.
Yeah. Can I ask
would you at that?
Hold on one second. Who's the guy you're trading with? What's his name?
The guy I'm trying to trade.
Denny, stop talking. Denny, stop talking. What's the guy you're trading with?
Travis.
His name's Travis. No shit. Are you serious? Are you serious, bro? Are you joking? Are you joking?
No, I'm being so serious.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I think I got Travis on the phone. Hold on. Denny, hold on. I got Travis on the phone. Hey, Travis. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell T. Travis wants me to tell you.
You are offer sex. You are made offer sex.
Yeah, your offer is horrible. But
hey, Travis, don't ever come in here with that fake. We know you can't. You can't.
That's what I was saying. Like, I know I'm trying to fleece right now. I obviously know I'm trying to fleece right now. I was just wondering how much more I should offer to him if he doesn't bite.
I mean, I try and give up one first rounder and then see what happens. And then when he says, the only problem is this is kind of like when you say, hey, do you want to do this? And someone says no. And then you say, hey, what if I did this? And they say no. And you're like, well, what if I did this? And they say no. And they start saying no for a living. And then if you were to come in with the original, they might say yes, but now they're in the business of saying no, and they're going to continue on that path. So it's a tough thing to do, especially
at that rate. Would you keep at that rate? Would you just keep Travis Hunter?
At that rate, would I keep Travis Hunter? You mean versus 2 first rounders?
As in, like, if I had to give up 2 first rounders, like you were saying, would you just rather keep the first rounders and Travis Hunter, or would you still go with the Neighbors and Garrett Wilson side?
I mean,
if I gave up 2 first rounders?
The answer is give me Neighbors and Garrett Wilson all day, unless you tell me, hey, I've got the DeLorean, I just got in it, we went into the future, and it's the 1.1. You're getting You're getting the 1.1 and a 1.5. Then I like the Hunter and 1 point, but I'm not saying I even not do it. I'm just saying that then I have like a dilemma. If you don't tell me that one of them is the 1.1, I want Neighbors and Garrett Wilson all day. And even if one is the 1.1 and one is the 1.5, it's just a conversation now. It's not even a locked in thing. I mean, I'd probably just take Neighbors and Garrett Wilson, bro. Neighbors is insane. And I love Hunter. I love him. But you're trying to get a Garrett Wilson out of, even getting Garrett Wilson out of both of those picks is hard. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd surrender the 2 first-rounders in Hunter and Olave. And I'd even give the second as well for Neighbors and Garrett Wilson. Bro, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of value. He's not going to do it, though. I almost guarantee if you throw in the 2 first-rounders, he won't do it. He still won't do it. But if you get it, that's amazing. No one in this chat's going to think you didn't get a good deal throwing 2 first-rounders into that. But, yeah, you're way off at trying to trade a nickel for a $100 bill.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah. I'm hoping to compete at least. Like, I got a really young team: Jaden Daniels, Dempsey, Henderson, Hunter, Devontae Smith, Hawk, Darnell Mooney, Trey Benson, Caleb Johnson. Like, a really young team. We just drafted, but hopefully those first rounders will be later. Right. But thank you.
Got to run. Call back if you got another one. Appreciate it. Later, bro. All right. Phone line's open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Man, irony of all that in that conversation. So back on point till the next caller, Tre Henderson. How good could he be? I mean, geez, guys, I'm thinking I am really getting crazy excited about this kid to the degree that I'm kind of feeling like. By the way, if you haven't seen this video, there it is. I'm like looking. I was looking over, and then this video is what I was trying to pull up. This video just dropped. I did a live stream on it right before we did this show, so go check it out. About 2 hours before we started this show right here, I did this live stream, my top 20 wide receivers. So go check out that video. You will enjoy. What is up, my guy? Who am I talking to? And where are you calling from? You're live.
Hey, Smitty, this is Smitty with Michigan, man. I have a quick question. In a lot of the best ball drafts I've been doing, I've been seeing Matthew Golden get drafted ahead of Jaden Reed. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't really have many thoughts on that, bro. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't really, nothing shocking about either one of those. I mean, if anything, Golden should be getting drafted ahead of Jaden, I'm sorry, saying Jaden, the rookie receiver you're talking about, right?
Golden. Yeah, Golden on the Green Bay Packers. Jaden Reed also on the Packers. I think Reed's like third year now.
I didn't know if you meant Higgins, Jaden Higgins. Sometimes people misspeak on.
Oh, gotcha.
But either way. But yeah, I mean, Matthew Golden is supposed to be there. It's the first time they've drafted a rookie wide receiver since the dawn of man. So he's supposed to be better. But do I like Reed better? Yes, I do actually like Reed better. I think Matthew Golden is one of the worst first round rookie selections we've seen in a while in terms of a profile for it. He should be a second rounder. He shouldn't be a first rounder. He has no 1,000-yard seasons to his name. Not that hasn't happened before. Like a guy like Lab McConkey came out with very limited work to a degree, and it worked out pretty well. But he's also a crispy route runner, and there's a lot of reasons to think that could end up happening and be much more of a thing that blossoms at the next level. Whereas Golden's got speed. I'm not saying he's not a good route runner or he doesn't have good hands, but nothing pops on Golden's tape for me except for his speed. And even then, I feel like he's slower in the game than he is like in a four. I just think Isaiah Bond was better. And Isaiah Bond's not on the roster because of his off the field issues, but not a big deal to see either one go over the other. I wouldn't even think about it. It's very understandable.
Yeah, I've been getting him almost everywhere because of the fact that he's been falling. So, I mean, I see him get taken over Golden religiously. And, rookie wide receivers, I'll be honest, like sometimes it can be a little rough. I think last year was a bit of an outlier where it was like spoil of riches. where everyone just like, you know,
To a
the top
degree.
guys pretty much
To a degree.
all hit.
But the receivers will translate a lot better. So it's definitely something we'll see more of, but it won't be as, you know, fruitful as last. I think the running back group this year will be similar effect as the wide receiver group was last year for the wide receivers. So we're going to see the running backs, and we might see a nice rotation, and then some years it might all come together too. But I don't think it's like a anomaly that we had one of the best receiving crews to ever come out of college, and now we have one of the best running back stables we've seen in a long time come out. I think that you will see some rotation on that, but I think we'll always have talent come out. We'll always have, even if it's just one elite running back or two elite wide receivers. I mean, when Jeremiah Smith comes out of college, it's going to be crazy. You know, that year is going to be a phenomenal year.
Oh, yeah.
But I like Reed a little more than Golden. Golden does not have the profile to make me think he's worth the cost of entry. And you know what? Ted McMillan, to a degree, I feel the exact same way about. I don't love Ted McMillan's ADP. I like Ted McMillan. I like Ted McMillan if he was to get drafted. Like if Ted McMillan were to get drafted where Golden was getting drafted, or just deeper in the draft, I would like Ted McMillan as a rookie. But Ted's going in round 4. T-Mac's going in round 4. That is ridiculous. He has no business being a 4th round pick.
A little too rich for my blood as well, Smitty. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on that. I've been seeing it everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm like wrong on this, but
No.
I'll take Jaden Reed over Golden every time.
I mean,
it's the veteran experience.
There's upside for Golden. I'm not sitting here saying Golden can't be, you know, a good player, but Jaden Reed I like more. And they've even said their number 1 wide receiver is Jaden Reed. That's come from the team. So we'll see. All right, bro.
Yep.
Because Reed had a meeting. Reed had a meeting with the staff after the draft. He was not happy with the Matthew Golden selection in a way, because he's like, look, you know, I get you want to go get a receiver, but you haven't tried to use me to the degree that it's like, hey, we need to go get a wide receiver. Like the way he felt about it was he was insulted that they got to a point where the organization was saying, last year, we don't need a one. We got such a good group. We don't need a one. They're all the one. They're all sharing the role. And then when it doesn't work and you don't give Reed an opportunity and then you say, well, it's time to go get a good wide receiver, that's insulting. So Reed's sitting here going, you getting Golden makes me feel like you don't know what you have. And that's the way I felt for 2 years now, because I think he's a phenomenal player. All right, bro. We'll see you later.
Yeah. All right, Smitty. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Angus 626, you're live. Where are you calling from?
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up?
2 questions for you. One, I play in a ton of auction format drafts for redraft, and I'm a big fan of players like Jaden McDaniels or even Brock Bowers. But in those formats, I find it hard sometimes to pay up for those players when you can get other really great players for like $1 to $2. So I don't know if you have a strong opinion on that one way or another.
Well,
it's better to go for those value picks or spend up.
Don't be a penny pinching Peter though, bro, and hold on to that money so that when you get to the end, you got $27 and there's no players left. That's what it kind of sounds like you might do from time to time if you're heading too much in that direction. But I think what you need...
I'm more the guy to spend my money too much in the beginning and buy those players so that I miss out on a couple of good values.
If you haven't gone the other direction before with spending your money, you got to be careful you don't overdo it and end up with so much money left over. You're like, damn it, man, I should have just spent that $20 to upgrade this guy. Now I got $20. I'm winning everything I do, but I'm getting trash. So the thing you got to think about is like, you almost have to like break it out. There's tiers in a way, but they're not the tiers you think of. They're the tiers of willingness to spend on a player. So you have Bijan, who's going to be in this top tier. You've got JJ, who's going to be in this top tier. Jamar Chase is going to be in this top tier. Gibbs, Barkley. All these guys are, you know, I'm not saying that there isn't a world where I grab 2 of them and then grab a Mahomes and then I try and go dollar wide receiver shopping and I go with what's called the 3-headed monster that I coined so many years ago. So it would be Bijan and Gibbs, 2-headed monster, and then grab the Mahomes, who's very cheap, and you get a 3-headed monster. Pretty much, unless I'm doing that, I'm not drafting any of the guys in that top tier, not the talent tier, it's the expensive tier. And what I end up doing is I get a bunch of Hendys. Bucky's going to be in this bracket. Kyren will be in this bracket. Just think of all the guys that are getting doubted into the third round and late second. And Breece Hall's in this tier. Harvey's in this tier. So you have all these RBs that you can choose 2 of them, even 3 of them, and you're spending at a fraction less. Same thing with the JJs and the, even Neighbors might be in this tier. You're basically going to have to go looking around for the Travis Hunters. I'm not saying that this might be the place where you overpay a little bit just to get, because you can get running back ones this way, Bucky and Kyren and Hall. I'm not even sweating. But I do think there's a point where you don't want to have just, Debos and Hunters and all. If you can get your hands on someone like, even if it was Marv or they're not going to be costly, but get somebody you feel like can be your staple wide receiver 1. Someone like even London, if you had to overpay a little bit and it just made sense. You had a London, you had a Hunter, you had a Debo, you had a Hendy, a Kyren, a Bucky. You could build a really well-rounded team. Auction dollars, just staying away from the top dollar guys, and always call these guys out. Never call your own player out that you want, ever. The person that says Harvey right away is gonna lose them. They're gonna go for way more money. The earlier a player's nominated, there's probably a 90% chance that they're gonna go for more money than if you waited and let someone call them a lot later. There's if you could watch from 2 different split realities, and one where you call out Kyren, let's say, or Hendy, you call Hendy out as a second auction player off, and he goes for $47. And if in an alternate reality, no one calls him out until 22 players in, he might go for $29. It could be such a drastic difference just by waiting. So have patience, and that would be my best advice. All right, anything else real quickly, and then I gotta run to the next.
Yeah, it was cool seeing you on CBS talking with Keith, and I was just curious if that's what you plan on doing more.
Anytime anybody invites me on, I go on. I tend to not get invited on to a lot of shows because, I think, let's be honest, I think a lot of people, I don't know. I think a lot of people are afraid to do that, to have other people on their shows, unless they're buddies with them or something like that. There's a natural instinct to be like, oh, you're going to take in, followers, or, my style is pretty aggressive, and I think it caters pretty well to somebody looking for something new. So a lot of people don't invite me on much, which is fine. I'm a pretty much stay in my own lane kind of guy. I'm not looking for co-hosts. You guys are my co-hosts. My show is my co-host. But I think with CBS, I was on the longest running fantasy football radio show in the world that floated between CBS and NBC. So I have some connects. Heath, I didn't know from that, but I known him in the industry for a while, and he invited me on the CBS show. That was fun. But yeah, a lot of other channels, they would never have me on, bro. And I'm not at all interested in bringing people on that aren't going to bring me on their show. So. It's probably never going to happen. Yeah, I got Scott Hansen come on here all the time. We get a lot of former NBA players, and I have a lot of people on the show a lot. But for the most part, I'm a one-man band, and that's the way I like it. But I like going on promoting the brand, anywhere I can. If anybody invites me on, I usually go. All right, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Later. All right, dial into the show. Do it live. Do it live. Would love to know what you guys think of Diggs, of Hendy, Travis Hunter. We got a couple of super chats we need to get to. Sim Valley dropping it like it's hot with the $5 hauler. Denny, you are a legend. Denny, Sim Valley loves you, bro. Sim Valley would give you the shirt off his back. He would let you stay over if you needed a place to crash and you were nearby. Sim Valley would say, honey, Denny's coming over. I don't care what you say. Get the couch ready because we're sleeping on it. He's in the master bedroom. That's Sim Valley. Sim Valley would do that all day long.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Okay, KT, in Dynasty, would you trade Flowers and Scatterboo for Rice? Yes, I'd rather have Rice. And I like Scat a lot, but there's still question marks there. And Flowers, I don't love Flowers. I like Flowers. I don't love his situation. He's tied to his situation. So I'd have to be both. You'd have both Worthy and Rice in the same team. Eager for more Dynasty content out of you. You're going to get it, KT. All the Dynasty content's moved to this channel. Whoops. Sorry, wrong button. All the Dynasty content's moved to the main channel here. So all Dynasty content you'll find on row number 2 of the channel. So essentially, if you go to the YouTube channel, there's on mobile, you'll see like 4 or 5 videos under the first playlist, and the second one, the second row here, is going to be the Dynasty content. You'll be able to find it all the time there on the Dynasty channel. So just know that you can get your Dynasty fix at any time on this channel just by going to the second row of my YouTube channel. So that's where you can find all of the Dynasty content. Appreciate you. Thanks for the super chat. And we're going to get busy here. You know, we already starting to pick up. The shows have about 200 to 250 people in the streams now at any kind of one moment. Right now we got 195. Subscribe if you're new, but we're gonna start getting into the 400 or 500. You know, it's gonna get packed in here. It's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have Dynasty uploads. I'm gonna have Dynasty content, you know, non-Dynasty content. You talk Dynasty anytime you want as well. Rock out, you're live. How long?
Yeah, I got an issue. I'm not able to take McConkney because he'd be going in the
who? What?
Lad.
There you go. You can't take Lad because of what?
Because he'd be going in the second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking Lad in the second. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Yeah. I like him. You know, I hate that JMO is going too high because then people think I don't like JMO. I don't dislike JMO. We love JMO. We told people to trade for JMO all year last year, and he was phenomenal. Why is this graphic going absolutely crazy? Lad can't even be. Still, he's so upset that we don't have him ranked higher on this channel. I know people. You know, Lad. People want Lad. Lad's got a fan club. It's going to be, you know, wild and people are going to be a little rambunctious about not having him 12, 13, 14, 15 overall. Doesn't mean I don't like him. I just want him in a safe territory where JSN goes, where MHJ goes. Third round was where Lad should be going to protect all of your value. If you draft Lad in the second round and you look at your team after, let's say, a best ball draft, underdog, promo code Smitty if you want to try it out. But if you take a Lad in round 2 and you take a look at your team, I've never liked a team. Let me put that link in the live chat so you guys can get ready to sign up using that code and that link. That link inserts code Smitty for you. I've never liked a team where someone said, Smitty, review my team, and they took Lad at 14 overall. I've never thought that team's going to win at all. It just puts you in a really disadvantage from the jump. It's not advantageous to grab Lad as your 14 overall player. 14 overall, 15 overall. It's just way too high. If it was the 2-3 turn, like 24, 25, I'm comfortable with that. But that's not where he's going. And I don't know if that'll change in a grandma league. In a grandma league, in your work league, in your Aunt Edna's league, he might go 27 overall, 26 overall, 28 overall. And if he does, that's great. That's where I love Lad. That's where I love the Lad. All right, hold on, Rock Out. I'll come right back to you. 901, you're live.
What's going on, Smitty?
What's up? What can I do for you?
It's funny. Hey, I was going to say, speaking on Diggs, funny enough, a few months ago, me and you were kind of having a little back and forth, and I was defending him, just saying, you know, that's his character, but hey, I'll take my medicine when I got to take it. I know this stuff is inexcusable.
Who is this again? Who is this again? I'm sorry.
What's up, Michael from San Diego?
Oh, Michael. Okay. Yeah, no problem, Michael. I mean, look, it's fun to root for a guy like Diggs who's got a lot of crazy natural talent. I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm being completely blunt and honest, he looks faster than he should after an ACL tear at his age. No doubt about it. But I don't know. This guy can't be focused. He can't be. There's a lot that's going on. He's learning a lot. He's rehabbing. He's doing all this, and he's got Cardi B in his life. And Cardi B is a disaster. and his lifestyle right now, I'm sorry, but unless he dials it back, which he might, I think he's going to be distracted, but that's me. You're talking about a 30-plus-year-old player coming off an ACL tear, learning a new offense, playing for a new team, trying to jive with his quarterback, trying to become his quarterback's favorite target, and he's going to miss 3 or 4 weeks to start the year. I mean, that's just not a recipe that I want to be involved with. But anyway, what else you got?
Hey, man. I wanted to ask you about a trade that I made. I don't feel all the way good about it, but I also feel like it's safe. Essentially, I think Chris Olave in a 27 second for Chris Godwin in a 27 first. Editor in terms of like where I'm at in my league. So I felt good in the short term, but I also have a good feeling about Olave. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
So you gave up Godwin and a first for Olave.
I gave up Olave in a second in 27 for Godwin in a first.
That's okay.
So it's a pick swap.
Okay, so you got Godwin in a first. You gave up Olave in a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't love either receiver right now. I'd rather have Olave on the spec that, Godwin might not be ready for who knows how long. He'll miss the beginning of the year most likely. And, I like the first rounder. If that first rounder is like a top 3 pick, I'd rather have that.
The guy's team is definitely lacking, so it could be.
Yeah, I'd probably rather have this pick, but if it's a top 3 pick. But if I had to choose between the receivers, I want Olave way more than I want Godwin. But I don't know, bro. It could go both sides could go badly.
Godwin at this point?
I don't know. Both sides could go badly for the players, and I'd rather just have the pick. I mean, I'm not a huge believer in Godwin right now, and I'm not a huge believer in Olave. But I'd rather have Olave over Godwin, but at the cost of a first rounder, probably not. But it depends. I mean, in some leagues, you can't get rid of a first rounder for anything. In some leagues, first rounders are gold. So it kind of depends on that as well.
Fair enough, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anything else, bro?
Yeah. No, that's it, man.
All right. Appreciate you, bro. Later. All right. Next caller is 503. You're live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty. This is EA Goats. Been a little while.
What's up, Goats?
It's your voice.
Attaboy.
What are your thoughts on Justin Fields, AR5, and JJ McCarthy? I'm trying to figure out the secret little backup QB that is undervalued as my last pick. What do you think of those 3? Because they're all in different situations.
Well, I mean, Fields is by far and away higher ranked, so you're not getting him at the last pick in your draft unless you're playing with a bunch of corpses and grandmas. But so Fields by far and away I rank more higher than those guys. Fields is like borderline somebody you could use as your QB starting QB, especially if you're rotating Penix and Fields or Kyler and Fields or Dak and Fields and you have this rotation going. But AR5 is a shot in the dark and he might not even start or hang on to the job, or if he gets it, I mean, I don't want AR5 in that situation. And McCarthy, there's a lot of McCarthy fans, even some on this site, bro, or on this YouTube channel. And I just don't want him in my starting lineup ever. It doesn't mean that I'm not hopeful that he can deliver the football to JJ in a way that makes sense for me, and I'm fine with it. But I'm not drafting McCarthy to be any sort of, starter for me, even if it's on a bye week basis or if my QB goes down. I want freaking Penix Jr. in there. I want Fields in there. So Fields all day long. In between McCarthy and AR5, McCarthy, because he's going to play probably. Assuming everything goes right, and it seems to be going right for him, his rehab. McCarthy's guaranteed a lot more than AR5 is. AR5 he may or may not play, or may play a little bit, or may never play at all. Yeah, so no thank you. I'd rather have Jalen Milroe than AR5. Like in best ball, I'm drafting Milroe sometimes as my third big swing quarterback, just for fun.
Speaking of Milroe,
what do I think?
I'm glad you brought it up. So if JJ McCarthy, I'm kind of about JJ McCarthy. He doesn't do anything for me. But clearly the Vikings won 14 games like him. And they moved on Sam Darnold when they probably didn't need to. But between J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold, and Milroe, I can't tell what's what.
I mean, J.J. McCarthy's guaranteed his job, whereas Milroe and Darnold, their swap's going to happen at some point. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does. Maybe it happens in the wrong week you need it as a bye week. You know what I mean? So, like, you kind of got to go with J.J. McCarthy. He's safer. You can't bank on Milroe as your second quarterback. Milroe's a third quarterback in a best ball scenario, or a player you monitor the hell out of, or in Dynasty, you've got him on your bench and you're fine with that, or a practice squad. But in a redraft setting or a setting where you have a small bench, you can't have Milroe as your second quarterback. You just got to monitor the hell out of him and grab him the first chance you need to. He's not you can't guarantee when he's going in.
That's fair. That makes perfect sense.
All right, bro. Call back if you got another one. Later. Yeah. Same here. Rock out. What else you got?
Are you avoiding like all the receivers from Green Bay because they spread it out so much and you don't really know what's going to be?
I am, except for Reed. I like Reed at the right price because I think Reed's the best receiver on the team, but the team doesn't believe in him. They haven't believed in him. They've even disrespected him by saying we need to go get a wide receiver. It's like Reed's going, I'm here. That's why he had a conversation with him. Reed was very unhappy. Reed almost requested a trade, it sounds like, and he sat down with the team and said, like, how disrespectful is this? We don't need a wide receiver one. They said it all 2024. We don't need a wide receiver one. They're all good. They're all going to pull their weight. And what do? What do? They don't pull their weight because Love doesn't know how to facilitate. I really worry about Jordan Love. And then on top of that, it's like, you crap all over this kid, Jaden Reed, who you don't use properly. And I'm yelling from the rooftops. He's got the talent. And then they draft Golden. But he sat down with them and said, do I need to request a trade or do I not? And so many words, I'm guessing how the conversation went. And they probably said, and they did make this part public, you're our number one. You're our number one wide receiver. Don't worry about it. We needed to get you some help. And he said, okay. And so he's going to go out there trusting that this coaching staff's going to give him wide receiver one volume. So I like Reed a little bit on that spec that happens. But it's definitely not something that's easy to see coming or predict what's going on.
What price do you like him at?
I don't know. Where are you seeing him go, bro? In your particular league, because he's going to be all over the place. I could look up ADP data, but I don't even know it's going to be accurate from league to league, to be honest with you. So let me know, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, look it up real quick, and I'll come back to you. All right. Fernando, $2 hauler, trade 226 first rounders for the opportunity, I think is what you're trying to say there, to draft Hendy and Harvey. Trade 226 first rounders for the opportunity. Fernando, I need a lot more information than this. Like, what are we moving up to from where? You can't just tell me you get the opportunity. Like, what is this, a lottery ticket? What are my odds of getting Harvey or Hendy? What are my odds of being left with something I don't like Caleb Johnson or something? So I don't know, Fernando. I'm going to need more information than that. I don't think, if you're telling me to just trade up to like the 4 and you're guaranteed Harvey or Hendy, would I give up 226 first rounders? It would also depend on, are those late first rounders? Is there a shot one of them is top 5? If so, it makes it really hard to do that. But yeah, I probably would give up 2 first rounders for Hendy. And I probably give up 2 first rounders for Harvey. So if you're getting one of them, I'd be okay with that as long as it's not likely to be the 1.1. And even if it was, then we just have like a different conversation. Pros and cons. What's it look like? Golden is a 1, says Brandon, who's probably got him in like 17 leagues. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Skynet says, let me add this caller here. Skynet says, Fields going to give us the Wilson breakout we deserve. Definitely, bro. Definitely going to have a baller year. And those guys play together in college. The rapport is already there. Fields is thrown to his college wide receiver. It's beautiful. Bruce, you're live, Bruce. What's going on, man?
I'm
I wanted to ask you something on this Stefon Diggs deal. Does this help or hurt Kyle Williams, I believe it was?
Wait, what? Collins? You mean Kyle Williams?
Yeah.
Colin, I could tell you combine Kyle Williams to make Collins. Look, Diggs isn't going anywhere right now, so nothing's helping Kyle Williams unless Diggs were to get released. But the word is they have no plans on releasing Diggs, but I promise you the conversation was had, even if it was shot down. Somebody said, what are we doing? And someone might have said immediately, nothing. Let's wait. But the conversation was had. As short or as long as it was had. There's no way you don't look at what was going on. You know, what was the pink substance? You know they had a conversation about it. If you're running an organization like a team and you have footage of your wide receiver doing what he was doing on those videos, no one's saying that he can't live his life. I know some people say, oh, you're just jealous that he's on a boat with 15 people, 15 females, and he's handing out pink substances, making them all call him daddy. He's got 15 women calling him daddy on a boat. And I know what someone's going to say, oh, that's just a hater. You don't want him to live his life. If you're running an organization and you've got footage of your player handing out a pink substance, you're investigating. You're investigating. And there's a lot of speculation on what it was. A lot of very, very clear speculation that you can find, which we won't talk about here. But go ahead. What else you got, Bruce? So until anything happens, Kyle Williams isn't getting a bump of any kind. Diggs is still there. But Kyle Williams will be eventually the number one wide receiver on this team. Whether it's in 2026 or earlier, Kyle Williams is a nice player, bro. What else can we do? What else can we do for you?
That's the thing. I watched your receiving ranking. I had a question if I was going to be a dumb fan, if I decided to put G. Willie as my number 5.
No, I mean we talked about this on the show that the likely, for anybody that didn't see it, the 2025 wide receiver rankings, we talked about how Garrett Wilson, is very deserving of being on this top row. Now, where I would say Chase Lamb, JJ Neighbors, and probably one of Puka, London, or Thomas, and then you could probably have a really strong conversation about Garrett Wilson. I have him ranked safely here on this, but bro, Garrett Wilson could explode. I think the problem is we've seen it not, come to fruition a couple times, so it's like you just got to protect yourself as best you can, because he probably earns this value down here. He probably does a pretty good job of getting you back your cost of entry, and these guys are just a little bit safer to get back the cost of entry up here. So that's why I have him the rank the way that I have him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So better.
Just be careful. Yeah, be careful. Don't be blowing your wad on a player like a round earlier than you should be drafting him.
Okay.
Go watch that show if you missed it.
Yeah. Oh, I watched it. I was just like, I want to put Wilson.
Well, I mean, anybody watched.
Badly wanted to put Wilson in the top 5. I so badly wanted to.
Yeah. All right, my boy.
I know I'm only going to get one, so
yeah.
But they're part of back then.
Anything else?
Who do you think is you have to choose between Stefon Diggs? Would it be a flip flop? Like you couldn't just say, "Hey, I'm for sure I'm taking one of these guys."
Bijan, Diggs, Genty.
Bijan, Gibbs, or Genty? Yeah.
Gibbs, Genty. I mean, I did the running back ranking video, and it's just a big debate, bro. What ends up happening is you end up just saying whose offense is built around the player, who's getting traditional workhorse volume. It is Bijan, number 1. Gibbs, though, he's so resilient and he's so good at doing everything, it doesn't matter that he's sharing the work. You need him to share the work because he's doing so much receiving. You can't have him carrying the ball 300 times. So Monty's critical for Gibbs to stay healthy. Not that we wouldn't take it any chance we get when it's week 5 and Monty's out for the year, and we're not happy guy got hurt or anything, but from the Gibbs perspective only, we're like, Gibbs gets all the work and we'll take it. But year after year after year, you do not want him getting 25 carries a game. So his volume and the style of play is not anything that should make you say, I got to go Bijan over him because of that. But Bijan does give you that crazy... the fact that Bijan in the final 3 weeks of the season, Penix goes in, Bijan scores 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back-to-back games to end the year. He scored 6 TDs in his final 3 games. On the ground alone. Just rushing. 2-2-2. It's sky's the limit with Penix in there. And the reason the difference is because Penix Jr. is a gunslinger. And he keeps defenses so honest that there's no way to focus on Bijan anymore. Kirk Cousins went 4 straight games without a touchdown, and in his 5th game scored 1. He had 1 touchdown in 5 weeks, and then they finally pulled the plug after they had 1 touchdown in 5 weeks from Kirk Cousins. Which, why they waited that long is beyond me. Because Scott Hansen had a challenge with him that he'd get in there sooner, and he didn't. And Scott was going to mention us on the red zone if it happened. And it was like, we're just waiting for this staff to pull the plug. And they just sat there. No touchdown, no touchdown, no touchdown, no touchdown. 1 touchdown, pulled the plug. But Bijan, with Penix in there, Penix is a running threat. Don't let some person that doesn't know ball tell you that Penix Jr. doesn't keep defenses honest with his legs. Don't let him tell you that. Because Penix Jr. ran an amazing 40. He didn't run at all in college his final 2 years because he wanted to eliminate the risk of getting hurt because he only had that 1 shot left. He could run the damn ball, bro. He can run. Penix Jr. is a dual threat quarterback, and he's a gunslinger. So defenses are worried about it. They can't stack the box anymore. Bijan's going to the moon. The truth is, this is a 1-1 tie, though. Gibbs, Bijan, Gibbs. Genty is 2, probably tied with Barkley if you're talking about redraft. It's just the way it is. It's a tie. If I had 4 different leagues or 8 different leagues, I'm trying to get the right mixture of all this, bro. That's the bottom line. I got 2 leagues side by side. 1 league here, 1 league here. This league, I'm going Bijan. This league, I'm going Gibbs. It's just the way it is. I get a 3rd league. I want Genty unless I'm drafting 1. I'm probably still going to go. I'll probably go Jamar Chase. But if I had to go running back, I'm taking Bijan and Gibbs in 2 side-by-side leagues. I'm not going to double up on one of them. But Genty could be the number 1 running back. It's certainly possible. All right, bro. Bruce, we'll see you later. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Rock out. Final thoughts.
Yeah, Reed's around like the 7-8 term, but sometimes 9.
Yeah, I don't like 7. I like 8-9. 8-9 for Reed. Reed 8-9. I think it's okay. I'd have to see all the players that are available. Like, name off about 4 or 5 players that are available.
It's kind of where like Shakir and other players like that are in that tier. Let me see. Hold up.
Yeah, just name off a few players, and I'll tell you Reed or that player.
Juwan Jennings.
Give me Juwan Jennings. Because I don't trust Green Bay, so there's still a risk involved in Reed. Don't get it twisted. Anybody watching right now thinking that Smitty's saying Reed's the guy. I like Reed, but the Green Bay Packers might not know how good he is. They don't know how to use him, and so much so that he went into to a boardroom meeting and said, "What are we doing? You drafted Matthew Golden. What do you think I am? You saying we need to get a receiver. What am I?" So I don't know that they know how to use him. Jennings is going to get fed. Jennings all day. He's the number 1. Just go.
DeAndre Swift.
I don't know. Toss up. I'd probably rather go in a different direction than either of them, honestly. I like Reed, but that's a territory where Swift is that I feel like there's other players there I'd like better. All right, 2 more names, and I got to run.
Cooper Kupp, Brian Robinson Jr.
I want none of those guys. Cup, I guess, but I want none of those guys. There's some of the other players I like. There's got to be a better option. All right. Hey, rock out. See you later, bro. I may be back tonight. I'm not sure. If I do, I'll probably do a Dynasty show maybe in the draft, but I'm not positive I'll be back tonight. I will let you all know. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Rock out to the moon. Later, bro. All right. Don't forget to get on over to the ranking show that is up on the channel right now. It says wide receiver rankings. Go check it out. Top 20 wide receiver rankings. Go see how I came to this conclusion and what this means in the bottom right corner. Do it live. Don't forget I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday. Don't forget to subscribe to my Fantasy Football Unplugged channel. Episode 1 will be dropping very, very soon. Link is in the description. Go check out Fantasy Football Unplugged. It's my behind the scenes, backstage pass to everything going on. Denny late night phone calls, everything that goes on behind the scenes. My sitcom will be on there. Patreon.com/The Fantasy Football Show. That link is right here. I'm going to go over to the Patreon right when the show ends and have my usual post-show conversation with you guys. So get on over to the Patreon. It's basically 24/7, 365 live chatting. That's what it is. The link I just dropped. Don't forget my thefantasyfootballshow.com for all the rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators. That link is in the description, but I'll drop that link as well right here. And on that note, we are pretty much done right now for today, but we'll be back potentially tonight. No promises tonight, but I will try and come back for a third show. Appreciate you all. Thank you to my moderators, Travis, Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, The Bolt, Vampy, Kenny Powers, Terry Roberts. I said Space Ricky. I said Blackbeard. I think I got everybody. I always forget someone trying to name them all out. Appreciate all my mods. See you all later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for my super chats. Oh wait, hold on. We might have another super chat. Let me see. Let me check it out. Go Bills. Go Bills. Dropped him. Go Bills. You still here? Got Hunter. Let's see here. Got Hunter, Hendy, Harvey, and Judkins available in a rookie dynasty draft. Got offered Swift in a 1.11 and 2.5 and 2.9 and 2.11, 3.11 for my pick. Thoughts? Yeah, send this to him.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
I guess what I would say to that, bro, is where's that question? Is like he's offering, like if I offered you like a roll of quarters, the dollar's worth of quarters, a handful of pennies, maybe a sewing kit, a potential first aid like sewing kit, maybe a sock. I just hand you like 7, 8 things. Does that make it worth $100 bill? Drafting Hendy or Hunter or Harvey is gold, my boy. Straight up gold. To throw it all away for second rounders, 2.1 kick rocks, 2.9 kick rocks, 2.5 kick rocks, 1.11's probably a nice pick. I mean, I'd take it, I'd like it, but that's not nothing. He could give you, bro, you could give me 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, 2.10, 2.11, 2.12 with the 1.11, and I'm saying absolutely no.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Ready?
Denny, your volume is down again, and I'm on my way out the door. What is it, real quickly? I wanted to make sure I gave you a chance to speak. Go ahead, real quickly. 10 seconds.
Bill Belichick used to say, keep everything under wraps and don't do anything. And then he became he's just the epitome of just doing. He's a joke. Belichick is the worst. All right, I don't care what anyone says.
All right, Denny, appreciate you, bro.
What a hypocrite.
I appreciate.
How do you think that is at Thanksgiving dinner when he's with that girl?
I don't know. Denny.
Everybody, that's horrible. Pass the gravy. He's the worst. He's on the field.
She's probably like walking around real fast with walkie-talkies and pretending to be important at Thanksgiving. You know, Bill wants another slice. Bill only gets 2 slices. Bill only gets 2 slices. Bill's not having gravy. Bill, you're not having gravy. Set the gravy down.
I can't. Not getting the gravy.
Gotta go. Appreciate you, Denny. Calling later. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, hey, love you, Smitty, man.
Okay. Where was I at? What was I doing? I was gonna say something. Big Prophet says the whole second round you're tripping. How am I tripping? You would give up Hunter, Harvey, or Hendy for the entire second round, Big Prophet? I'm not tripping, bro. I think you're. It looks like you could be a pushover in a trade. Might have an opening in the league. In the league we got, big boy. I saw this. Somebody said we getting an RJ Harvey video, says Vader. Vader, I already dropped it. It looks like I have this right here, the disrespected. This is the Bucky video, and then we had the disrespected. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're talking about the Harvey. Wait, no, did we? Yeah, we didn't do the Harvey one yet. I've done a lot of Harvey videos, but you might be right, Vader. My bad. Okay.
The disrespected.
So yeah, you know what I'm kind of thinking though is
the disrespected.
I think it's on repeat. I think we gotta
the disrespected.
I gotta talk quicker. I'm probably gonna move Harvey up though. He's 4, but
the disrespected.
I'm gonna move him up though, so he's not gonna be 4 anymore.
The disrespected.
I kind of like that error. It's just...
The disrespected.
Got him.